Hey, welcome to the second course video for the song Remember This from NF and his album Perception. I'm musically malnourished, and you're on my journey to go deep and wide in discovering new music and artists. In these videos, we do a deep dive into the lyrics and meaning behind the music as long as I have the ability to talk. So let's get in, see what's going on with this song. All right. The main theme of the song is about how you shouldn't let people decide what you do with your life and that you need to make your own choices in life. He's saying not to go with the crowd, rather you should strive to be yourself, not what society wants us to become. And this is where I picked up the little fact about his vocals in the songs that sometimes sound female. It says NF is singing the chorus in a pitch-shifted voice, known for shifting the pitch of his vocals so that they sound like someone else. The most popular example of this is the chorus on Let You Down. Let's get up and into the music. And supposedly as well, this song started as an older song, because even this video, which the album came out in 2017, but it says here, originally known as Angels, this track was first teased on Instagram twice, sharing a different beat and hook. The video has now been deleted from the page, but it is available on YouTube. Okay, yeah, they say when you grow up, you'll understand when you're older. Guess I'm still a kid. I don't know if I'll ever let go of this. Say goodbye to the old me. We ain't friends anymore. You don't know me. I know I could die any moment. If I do, just remember this. So obviously he's laying out things to remember. I love that idea. Is like, you'll understand when you're older. And the reality is there are a lot of things you will understand as you get older. But no matter how old we get, there are some things we won't fully understand. So he says, yeah, handouts create lazy people I'm not impressed with. You want something in life, then why don't you go and get it? Which totally respectable, right? I mean, I think that he would probably agree as well, is that there are people in certain situations that need help. But what I love and respect the most are the people that receive help when they need it, because that's another type of humility, to be able to receive help. But I love the people that still want to fight for them. It's not an entitlement, right? That's where I think a handout or a hand up or to give help in a season of life where maybe you're going through something difficult. But the entitled attitude, I think, is the part that all of us have kind of an aversion to. Actions speak louder than words do. It's pretty quiet, isn't it? Which obviously is saying not a lot of action, just a lot of words. Look at the world we live in, defined by comment sections. Surround yourself with people that challenge how you think, not people that nod their head and act like they agree. Those people will cut you open just to watch you bleed. The reality is there will be people that will agree with you. That's not a bad thing, but you also have to have the same people, because there are plenty of times I've been around people and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a good idea. Do that. Hey, go you. But at the same sense, I'm also the person that when I truly feel like, hey, I don't know if that's the best way, or I'm not so sure about that, then I'll speak up. He's really obviously speaking to just fake people. Always be yourself, not the person you pretend to be. That's challenging. These people are going to tell you that you won't ever make it. Then when you do, they're going to say they knew you were going places. And it kind of continues on here. That's just how it works. Next thing you know, you'll be overrated. Hearing people say they miss the old you. It's crazy, ain't it? Which just speaks to partly the crowd, drawing your guidance or just looking to the crowd. The crowd, dude, the opinion sways so much, and it's so exhausting and tiring if you try to live or lead according to the crowd. In that line, they'll tell you will never make it. Then when you do, they're going to say they knew you were going places. Again, he just keeps speaking to fake people, because the same people, once they're saying that and the crowd is kind of moved in a different direction, they'll be like, oh yeah, they were overrated. And it's so true. And I think again, none of us are perfect, so it's not like you want to speak from a high horse. But if there's one thing that I can say that I fought really hard for and been able to maintain in my life, is just being an authentic person. Trying to be the same person no matter where I am. Now, you may shift the way that you face forward depending on the context of situations, but it doesn't mean being a different person, right? You conduct yourself differently at a funeral than you do at a wedding. And that's just being an intelligent person, like a normal person, and knowing kind of decorum and things like that. Different at a football game than you are in a library. But who you are at your core, your character, that switching, changing based upon the moods, that's not the play. Perfect people don't exist, so don't pretend to be one. I don't need pats on the back from people for my achievements. When I die, I want to know I live for a reason. So ultimately for him, it's like, I'm not doing everything just to receive praise from the crowd. Of course he wants his music to land with people. Of course he wants to gather a fan base that enjoys what he does. Like that, there's nothing wrong with that. And there's a side too, that words of affirmation, are always encouraging, knowing you're maybe moving in the right direction, especially from the people that you really care about. Having words of affirmation, I think, is important. But if all you're trying to do is to do things to please other people, I think that that's a really bad place to put our motivation. The praise can follow, achieving something, but if that's the source of it, that's so short-lived. But rather him saying, I have a bigger purpose, a reason I'm trying to achieve. And if I get pats on the back along the way, cool, great. Good to know that it resonated with you, but it can't be for that, because the day the pat doesn't come, you start questioning, who you are. And that's just not a solid place to live. Anyone can take your life, but not what you believe in. And then the chorus repeats, verse 2, yeah, don't take opinions from people that won't listen to yours. If money's where you find happiness, you'll always be poor. If you don't like the job you have, then what you do it for? Well, the reality there is sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do the things you want to do. And the hope is that, I think, my hope in my life, my hope for you, is that you can pair the two things, something you really enjoy doing, although that will always carry work. It will just feel like work sometimes. Some days you'll wake up and not feel inspired and not feel like you want to do the thing, but it's the thing you need to do, should do, or supposed to do. I think that's a character trait, to be able to push through and do that. But hopefully across your life, you can find out, like, what am I gifted at? Where am I needed? And you can pair making your living with that thing. But there will also be seasons you just got to do stuff and you might not like it, but you've got to kind of transform yourself and bring something to the job that maybe the job's not giving you on its own. The cure to pain isn't something you buy at liquor stores, obviously speaking to substance abuse. The real you is not defined by the size of your office. The real you is who you are when ain't nobody watching. You spend your whole life worried about what's in your wallet. For what? That money won't show up in your coffin. Yet anger's a liar. Ain't got no respect. I fell in love with my pain and I slept with my regrets. Happiness saw it happen. Maybe that's why she up and left. This is such an interesting and smart storytelling here. Joy called me a cheater, said she ain't coming back. I've always had a problem with relationships. But that's what happens when you see the world through a broken lens. So obviously it's like making friends with anger, falling in love with pain and regret. When you do that in your life, happiness and joy, they're nowhere to be found. Mistakes can make you grow. That doesn't mean you're friends. This is wonderful, right? You don't want to be friends with your mistakes. Like, mistakes will happen, but there are also many mistakes that can be avoided by living with wisdom. And so, yes, you can grow, and that's a great thing, like, especially when, from a faith perspective, like, nothing is wasted in the Lord's hands, and forgiveness is offered to everybody. And if you can take those things and put them in his hands, put them in the Lord's hands, he can teach you and instruct you and redeem some of those things. It doesn't make them right, but they don't have to go to waste. But don't act like mistakes are your friends, right? They're mistakes that we'd like to avoid as much as possible. Who you are is up to you. Don't leave it up to them. All right, final verse. Yeah, they say you got into music. You signed up to be hated. It's kind of weird because I don't remember signing my name up. Coming from people that give advice but never take none, I like my privacy, but lately I feel it's invaded. This is interesting because it's a callback to the earlier line, right? He said, don't take advice from people that can't receive it or that only want to give it, essentially. And so this is what they say. He's basically saying, like, don't listen to them. I like my privacy, but lately I feel it's invaded. I hear that life's too short. Don't let it pass you by. We waste a lot of time crying over wasted time. It's not about what people think. It's how you feel inside. My biggest failures in life are knowing I never tried. I look at the world from a different angle. People change. Even Satan used to be an angel. Think twice before you're biting on the hand that made you. Don't believe what you believe just because that's how they raised you. Think your own thoughts. Don't let them do it for you. Say you want a drink. Don't wait for people to pour it on you. Cut out the liar. Stay close to people you know are loyal. Grab your own glass and fill it. Don't let your fear destroy you. Obviously, this is just more about taking charge of your own life, right? I did want to make a note. You got into music, you signed up to be hated. I think what he's saying, obviously, because he's saying that's weird, I don't remember signing my name up. But I think it's also realizing that there are certain jobs you take that will inevitably draw attention, especially ones that put you forward. And that doesn't have to be just in entertainment. That can be in life in general. Just knowing, and I think it's wisdom, that like if you're going to be the president of the United States, you signed up to be hated. You're going to be loved by some, hated by others. And if you're going to be a manager, you're signing up because you're going to have to make decisions on behalf of people that some people will like and some people will not like. And the nature of leadership is the ability to stay steadfast, to remain constant. Now, yes, listen to certain things. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to make all the decisions I want to make and everybody can deal with it. But sometimes that's just what you have to do. But if it's coming from a place of really thinking through it, thinking through what's best for you, for the company, for those that are working for you, whatever it might be, you just have to know any forward-facing position that you take, again, whether it's entertainment, whether it's in business, you have to know that the hate's going to come your way, and you can't be really surprised by it. And you just have to decide, well, is this the kind of thing that I want to be a part of? But I think that that's just wisdom going in, that you will do certain things in life that are going to invite, what's the word I'm looking for? Criticism. And in knowing that going in doesn't fully solve it, it's still hard, but at least you understood this was what I was signing up for, and the ability to remain consistent through that is really the challenge. Well, let me know your thoughts on the song, if there's anything you saw that I didn't see. And thanks for being with me for this one. Hope to see you in the next one, because we're eating good.